focus tonight. The Babri Masjid demolition case is back to haunt the BJP. 25 years after the mosque was razed to the ground, the Supreme Court has delivered a crucial verdict, reviving the criminal conspiracy charges against L.K. Advani, Uma Bharti and Murli Manohar Joshi amongst others. The court has ruled they will now have to face trial, one which will have to be concluded within 2 years. The top court agreed with the CBI's arguments that these leaders had made inflammatory speeches standing next to the Babri Masjid, which drove the Karsevaks to tear down the 16th century mosque, and that the demolition was a premeditated and deliberate act. While many would see today's court ruling as a tectonic shift in the course of the case, the question we're asking is, 25 long years after the demolition, what does this verdict really mean? And will there ever be any real justice in the Babri Masjid demolition case that perhaps changed the course of politics and religious discourse in India?
कल मैं अयोध्या जाऊंगी, सरयू से पैदल जाऊंगी, रामलला के पैदल चल के अयोध्या की गलियों में दर्शन करूंगी, हनुमानगढ़ी की सीढ़ियां चढ़ूंगी, उनके दर्शन करूंगी और वहां ये संकल्प व्यक्त करूंगी कि राम मंदिर तो बनके ही रहेगा, कोई माई का लाल उसको नहीं रोक सकता।
25 years later, it's back to from where it all began. Using its extraordinary constitutional powers to revive criminal conspiracy charges against senior BJP leaders, including L.K. Advani, Uma Bharti and Murli Manohar Joshi. The apex court ordered separate trials being conducted at Raebareli and Lucknow to be clubbed and be conducted in Lucknow and wrapped up in 2 years. Rajasthan Governor Kalyan Singh, who was Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh then, is also named as an accused. His trial will begin after his term ends. The CBI incidentally had moved the Supreme Court in February 2011, dubbing the demolition bid a concerted conspiracy. This after the Lucknow bench of the Allahabad High Court upheld the trial court verdict, absolving Advani of conspiracy charges.
उमा भारती और कल्याण सिंह भी कॉन्स्पिरेसी के में जिम्मेदार हैं। देखिए, सवाल ये पैदा होता है कि अगर सुप्रीम कोर्ट, ये मेरी राय है, अगर कार सेवा की इजाजत नहीं देता तो शायद बाबरी मस्जिद शहीद नहीं होती।
इस पूरे निर्णय को हम लोग पढ़ेंगे और पढ़ने के बाद इसकी कानूनी बारीकियों को समझेंगे और उसके बाद पार्टी की ओर से, सरकार की ओर से अध्ययन के बाद हम औपचारिक टिप्पणी करेंगे।
ये मामला 1993 से चल रहा है और किसी न किसी प्रकार से चल रहा है और इसलिए आज तो कोई नई स्थिति पैदा नहीं हुई, तो इसलिए जो परिस्थिति आज से पहले थी वही स्थिति चलेगी।
It's a vindication of the law. There's nothing more than that. I mean, what are we to say? The court has given a verdict. The verdict is before you. Everybody has to accept that verdict, and we hope the trial is over in 2 years. Nothing more than that.
The CBI maintained that it has evidence that the accused BJP leaders who made speeches on a stage near the masjid on the fateful day were part of the deadly plan to bring down Babri.
Supreme Court had directed to conclude the trial within 2 years and on to day-to-day basis. Until unless there is any difficulty, court seems that there is no possibility to go on with the trial, then adjournment will be granted. Otherwise, there will be no adjournment. Supreme Court has clearly said.
The opposition predictably unleashed a no-holds-barred attack on the BJP.
बढ़िया से नार काट दिया अडवाणी जी का। अब तो राष्ट्रपति की चर्चा भी नहीं कोई करेगा उनका। ये बिल्कुल सोची समझी राजनीति और ये तो उनका खुद सरकारें कर रही है, तो हम लोग तो नहीं कर रहे हैं।
Now the Supreme Court has ordered that they should all be, their name should be restored in the charge sheet. That is good. We only hope that the court proceeds in a proper manner in order to deliver the justice.
The Supreme Court has said that a Lucknow court will once again hear criminal conspiracy charges against several, including top leaders of the BJP. The court has said that this will be a fast-track process that will have to be completed within 2 years. However, 25 years later, it seems that the judicial process is only just beginning.
With the spotlight back on Babri again, the big question is whether the dispute can be resolved in 2 years. Or is this just the beginning of yet another round of a protracted legal battle? Bureau Report, News X.
All right, so what exactly does today's verdict mean? To discuss and debate that, I'm now joined by GVL Narasimha Rao, spokesperson for the BJP. We're hoping to be joined by Jaiveer Shergill, spokesperson for the Congress, in just a bit. Here with me in the studio, senior journalist Aarti Jairath. We're also joined by senior advocate and Rajya Sabha member KTS Tulsi and RSS ideologue Sandeep Mahapatra. GVL Narasimha Rao, let me come to you first. Hasn't today's order come as a huge blow to the BJP? Because the top court of the country has ruled that some of the tallest leaders of your party will now have to face trial for being part of a massive criminal conspiracy which many believe changed the course of events in this country, hurting its social fabric and leaving its communal harmony in tatters. Yes, it is at the trial stage, but fact of the matter is that the court does believe that there is prima facie evidence to try these leaders.
This is no setback whatsoever. This is a case that has been pending for nearly a quarter century. I think there were several attempts during the Congress era to implicate our leaders, but the trial and the Raibari and the Lucknow courts and the Allahabad High Court dropped those charges. Had there been any kind of evidence against our leaders, do you think the Congress would have really not pursued this trial?
Mr. Rao, your argument is very interesting. Allow me to come in here. Your argument is very interesting. You're saying the Congress tried hard to falsely implicate your leaders, but there was no evidence. But let me remind you that currently your party is in power and it is the CBI, which of course most would say is under your government. And the CBI insists there is evidence, and the top court of the land, GVL, has come to the conclusion that there is prima facie evidence that these leaders were part of a larger criminal conspiracy. It is the Supreme Court we are talking about.
Yeah, so I think this, if anything, it only establishes that our government does not interfere in the work of the CBI. And the CBI's appeal in the Supreme Court, for your memory, for your knowledge and for your viewers, this was filed in the Supreme Court in the year 2011 when the Congress was in power. In 2010, the Allahabad High Court quashed conspiracy charges.
But today, that was set aside by the Supreme Court.
After the CBI went to them.
That's right, GVL, but today that was set aside by the Supreme Court.
No, I think the Supreme Court, I think in the matter in which the CBI went before the Supreme Court in 2011, and another petitioner who was a part of the title suit dispute, he went to the Honorable Supreme Court in 2015. So this is a judgment, this is an order given by the court in response to the CBI petition way back then.
But
and
fact of the matter is, it is an adverse order. Will you not accept, GVL, that it is an adverse order? L.K. Advani is a former Deputy Prime Minister of this country, one of the tallest leaders of your party, at the age of 89 is going to be put on trial. And you still maintain it is not a setback in any way?
If anything, it only brings out the entire issue up front. It only makes people really know how a party, as a part of the appeasement politics, the Congress governments and their UPA UPA governments in Uttar Pradesh, how they had wanted to keep this fluster, they wanted this.
I'll get a response to what you're saying from the Congress, but I'm not sure why you're bringing in the Congress here, because as I'm reminding you repeatedly, it is the CBI which insists there's evidence. It's the Supreme Court which has today ruled that these leaders should face trial. But GVL, be that as it may, my next question to you is simply this. Should Uma Bharti resign on moral and ethical grounds? And Kalyan Singh, of course, he enjoys constitutional immunity at the moment, but should he also step down in the interest of propriety?
No, I think there is nothing in the law that requires anyone who is even facing a trial to resign. And this is actually, we consider them to be political charges. and there is no substance to them. But certainly, I think the Honorable Court wanted a trial to happen on these charges. Let the trial happen. We have no doubt they will come out unscathed from these allegations. And these are not in the nature that would warrant, if only examples were to be set. First, let Veerbhadra Singh resign first. He is facing charges of money laundering. He is facing serious economic offences.
All right.
I think you don't find him, you don't find the Congress party even asking their own leaders.
Well, we heard
Sonia
Mr.
Gandhi,
Arun
Rahul
Jaitley make
Gandhi,
a similar
against
argument
whom-
today, saying that if the same logic were to apply to Congress chief ministers, and there are very few left, as he put it, then most would have to go. All right, GVL Narasimha Rao, let me now take that to Jaiveer Shergill of the Congress, who's finally with us. Jaiveer, you may have heard what GVL Narasimha Rao there says. He, in fact, keeps bringing the Congress back into this, saying it was your party's conspiracy to falsely implicate BJP leaders in the Babri Masjid demolition case. Never mind the fact that today it is the Supreme Court which has ruled that these leaders should face trial. But that apart, Jaiveer, of course, I'll give you a chance to respond to that. But my question to you is this. While there are many important and interesting facets of this case, one thing that has struck many people is how the CBI insisted before the court that some of the tallest leaders of the ruling party be tried for criminal conspiracy. Now, for a much maligned agency which is constantly accused of being a cash parrot and, of kowtowing to the ruling party in the government of the day, would you say that this is perhaps a welcome instance of the CBI's independence? How do you look at it?
हिंदी मूवी कानून के हाथ बहुत लंबे होते हैं. Today, the Supreme Court has paved the path to justice to ensure that the guilty don't get scot-free. I understand Mr. Rao has had a very long day, but I think he's confusing the Supreme Court with the Congress headquarters. The judgment has been passed by the Supreme Court after looking the facts and circumstances. Also, the fact that the Supreme Court has ordered that they should be a part of the trial reflects that there is a very strong prima facie case against the accused BJP leaders. Also, Supreme Court has lifted the veil that the VVIP trial will no longer continue and the VVIP netas will stand in the same box as the car sevaks in Lucknow. Right. Now, BJP's reaction post the judgment reflects their heightened nervousness. Look at that. Miss Uma Bharti is sounding defiant that she will do anything for Ram Mandir. Right. But behind closed doors in Librahyan Commission, she pleads ignorance. No, I didn't see anything. Car sevaks were outside. I was inside Ram Kunj. Now, Ms. Vinay Katyar says this is a conspiracy against CBI's conspiracy.
Yes, and
when
I'll come
CBI
to that.
files
I'll
a case
come to
against
that
the
in
Congress,
just a moment.
It's a very fair body. When it files a case against the Bharatiya Janata Party, then it is a conspiracy.
But Jaiveer, respond to what the BJP is saying today, apart from, of course, arguing that this is not a setback to the ruling party. Yes. They're saying this is actually, they're holding this up as an example of the CBI's independence. Respond to that before I take this back to GVL.
See, of course, law and the course taken doesn't ideally change color with the political leadership at the helm of the affairs. CBI had a very strong case. It was dropped by the Allahabad High Court and CBI appealed. We will be happy if today's decision acts as an example for all political parties across life that CBI will act independently and fairly when it comes to ensuring justice. So if BJP is celebrating of framing of charges against Mr. L.K. Advani, then best of luck. Are they celebrating CBI's independence? Well, then I am with them. There is no dispute on that.
I'm not sure
but
they're celebrating the former.
BJP, a message has been given by Supreme Court. Nobody is above caste, color, religion or political stature.
One quick question, Jaiveer, before I throw it open to the rest of my panel. Will the Congress insist that Uma Bharti resign?
See, we are not insisting because BJP is thick-skinned. Morality and ethics are not in their lexicon. When Mr. Pawan Bansal resigned, when Mr. Ashwini Kumar resigned, there was no charge sheet. Today there is a charge sheet. If Ms. Uma Bharti, after the judgment says, jo kiya khullam khulla kiya, and if her morals and conscience allows, that khullam khulla karne ke baad she should remain the minister of this country, then God bless her and God bless the Bharatiya Janata Party. It's Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The ball is in his court. He said, I am committed to morality and ethics.
GVL, I'll allow you a quick rebuttal.
Example, then again I say,
GVL, a quick 30-second rebuttal, because then I need to go to my other guests.
No, for the Congress to preach morality is like devil quoting the scriptures. I think the Congress is the ultimate political devil. You have chief ministers who have been charge sheeted. He's being summoned by the Enforcement Directorate repeatedly, and he is absconding. He's not returning. He's not responding to the investigative agencies. Don't quote morality. You have your president, Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, who have not been given any reprieve by the Delhi High Court. They're facing charges of cheating.
GVL, I'm not sure the two cases are really comparable. Well, I'm not entirely sure the two cases are comparable. But all right,
Veerbhadra Singh is a chief minister. Is a chief minister. Why has he not resigned?
All right.
Why has he not resigned? Why don't you tell Veerbhadra Singh to resign first?
All right.
I'm talking about today's development.
All right. So the Congress will ask for Uma Bharti to resign. The BJP will ask for Veerbhadra Singh to resign. I'm not sure if anyone is resigning anytime soon, but I need to go across to my other panelists. Aarti Jairath, come in here at this point. How do you react to GVL putting up a very brave front today, saying, no, it's not a setback to the BJP at all. If anything, this means that the CBI is independent.
Well, actually, I think his arguments don't make very much sense at all because, for them to say this is an old case, it's not really an old case. The criminal conspiracy charge was dropped. It has now been revived. So actually it's become a very serious case now because this is a serious charge.
Right.
I think the BJP is in a very sticky spot. And I think it's in a sticky spot for several reasons. One is it's their own government and their own investigative agency, which now has to prosecute the founder of their party, a former president of their party, and of course a leading light of the Ram Mandir movement, Uma Bharti, who is a current minister in the government.
Minister in the Modi government.
That's right. So, I mean, I think everybody is going to be watching very carefully to see whether the CBI, actually does a fair job of prosecuting them.
Right.
Or whether the CBI fudges and hedges to try and protect them so that they, get off.
And do you think the Prime Minister will feel the pressure to set an example by sacking Uma Bharti? Do you see that happening?
Well, I think he will have to because it's a little different from, the others. There's actually a trial on in court now.
Right.
This is not just some charges that have been framed by the CBI.
Right.
But it's actually a trial that's going to begin in court. And I think it is, embarrassing for the government to have its minister appear in court and they've asked for day-to-day
criminal conspiracy,
and they've asked for a day-to-day hearing.
Day-to-day
I don't know whether she can be exempt, right through the, trial, but whatever it is, it's there. And it is also rather, there's sort of an element of pathos to see an 89-year-old man being summoned to court as well,
Right. That brings me to my next question.
Yeah.
Mr. Tulsi, if I could bring you into the debate at this point. While significant as it may be, we need to really examine what this judgment really means. Yes, it's going to be a day-to-day trial. Yes, it has to be concluded within 2 years. But, sir, it's been 25 years already since the demolition of the Babri Masjid. As Aarti Jairath mentioned, L.K. Advani is 89 years old. And then you have so many leaders like Ashok Singhal, Bal Thackeray, Giriraj Kishore, who've died in the course of the last few years. So the question is, can there ever be any real justice in this case? Can there ever be any meaningful closure in this case?
Of course, but you must see that the conspiracy charge was dropped pursuant to the CBI withdrawing certain documents which were part of the charge sheet. They withdrew those documents and then they said that there is no evidence of conspiracy. Now that happened in 2001, and then the matter went to the High Court, and the High Court also upheld the judgment of the trial court, saying that, well, there is no evidence of conspiracy against these people, so therefore separate trial. I have not come across any case where the charge of conspiracy and the trial for the incident are separated. This is remarkable. And this all happened during a time when their own government was in power. Now, 15 years have been spent, and their decision, their hard work of 15 years or 14 years has come to a naught, and they say, no, it doesn't make a difference to us.
Right.
It's very surprising, because conspiracy charge is far more serious.
It is.
For conspiracy, all that the prosecution has to prove is that they were part of the conspiracy. That conspiracy can be proved by the speeches that were delivered during the Rath Yatra.
Absolutely.
The speeches that were delivered on the stage.
And on the day of the demolition, that is something that has been cited by the Supreme Court in today's ruling.
And those speeches are audio-visual recording.
All right, but we'll have to wait and see, sir, whether at the end of this 2-year trial, the CBI is
the audio-visual evidence is
make
there.
a watertight case.
No one can get away.
All right, so you believe there will eventually be justice in this case. Sandeep Mahapatra, come in here. It's very curious. Jaiveer Shergill also referred to this earlier in the debate. You actually had Vinay Katiyar today accusing the CBI of conspiring against him and other leaders. Has he forgotten that the political boss of the CBI is the BJP government? And also, how do you react to the fact that the highest court of the land now says that some of the tallest leaders of the Ram Janmabhoomi movement will be tried for criminal conspiracy?
Yeah, nobody understands this better than you, who has covered courts and how the courts, orders are passed. The Supreme Court has given a direction that the conspiracy trial has to go on in a time-bound manner. So, for those who are thinking that the culpability of all these leaders have been proved, they are wrong, and they know for a fact, and therefore they are making all sorts of arguments about morality. And I am really baffled as to how these leaders have changed position. These are the same leaders and same parties who pleaded the Supreme Court late into the night, and once Yaqub Memon was hanged, they took out a plea saying that now justice has been denied. So those who are talking about double standards and morality, they need to look into themselves as to what they are talking about. And talking about the trial, Neha, you would know that there are 800 witnesses, those are to be examined by the trial court. As of now, I believe only 200 witnesses have been examined.
We still have a long road ahead.
It is not that culpability has been proved.
Their culpability has not been established.
So the road ahead is
the only point of the debate from Mr. Mahapatra is that, this is an indictment of sorts because this order has come from the highest court of the land. All right, we're running out of time. Jaiveer Shergill, a quick 30-second rebuttal to what you heard Mr. Mahapatra said. I have to wrap up this debate now.
Let me enlighten him. When a charge sheet is filed, it has to be shown to the court that there is a prima facie case, there is some evidence, there are some witnesses.
I'm also a lawyer,
the Supreme Court has taken cognizance of the
Okay,
fact and proves that there is a prima facie case. They can't put the, so then don't mislead the audience.
Don't look. Don't enlighten me. Look within. Look at your double standards.
Nobody can be heard right now. We're all speaking over each other. I have completely run out of time. I'll give the last word to Aarti Jairath. Aarti Jairath, sum this up for us. I want to know, what does this mean for the BJP? 2019 is now 2 years away. They have a Yogi Adityanath in UP. They have a huge majority at the center, a massive majority in the state. Where do you see this going?
Okay, so since we don't have much time, 2 quick points. One is, I think the fact that there is a trial now, against these people for criminal conspiracy, I think will put a spoke in their plans to build a Ram temple or to start the process of building a Ram temple.
Which you believe they would have wanted to do in the run-up to 2019?
Before the 2019 election. So I think this puts a spoke to it. Okay. Secondly, of course, everybody's innocent till they're proved guilty. But we have to see what course the trial takes.
Right.
And what is the kind of judgment that comes. Because whatever judgment comes will have a huge impact on the BJP. If, for instance, Advani and Murli Manoj Joshi and all are found guilty of criminal conspiracy, then, I mean, the fallout is going to be huge.
And I think it'll be
the whole demolition case.
And I think it'll be very interesting to see if the verdict, which is meant to come out in 2 years' time, coincides with the next general election that we're going to witness in 2019. On that note, I'd like to thank my entire panel for joining us on this special debate. I've completely run out of time. Thanks very much for watching.